So welcome guys. To the returning subscriber, you're welcome. And those that just coming across this video, you can just click on the subscribe button for more content like this. So I want to talk about the 10 trade rule. So let's dive into it. The 10 trade rule is a risk management tip. It's a risk management tip that you can actually use for your trading. So I'm going to explain why the 10 trade rule is very important in your trading and who can use this 10 trade rule. Now, if you know that you can lose 10 trades in a row, this video is not for you. This video is for those that have a strategy that works. This 10 trade rule is not for gamblers. For those that have a strategy that works. Maybe you have a strategy, you have back tested your strategy, and you see that okay, I cannot lose 10 trades in a row. If you know you cannot lose 10 trades in a row, then you can apply the 10 trade rule to your trading. So let me explain. You know that there is this risk management tip that you should use 1% of your account, apply risk management, calculate pips, and the rest. But to me personally, I think the 10 trade rule is the best risk management tip to use for your own trading. I will explain. If you have a trading strategy that can give you theory, arrow, risk to reward. Yeah. So now let me just explain quick one on risk to reward. We know risk to reward. Risk, as the name apply, the amount you are willing to risk. Then the reward is the amount you are looking forward to get out of your risk. So the reason why risk to reward is more important than pips, because a lot of people don't know that risk to reward is more important than pips. So people might just be like, I made 50 pips on this trade. And someone might be like, okay, you made 50 pips on this trade. That's good. But did you ask the person if how many pips is your stop loss? If you made 50 pips on the trade and your stop loss with the amount you are risking is 30 pips, trust me, this is a bad trade. This is a bad trade. Because this cannot even give you 1:1. This cannot even give you 1:1. So if you are risking 50 pips on a trade and you are making 30 pips from the trade, this is a bad trade. You cannot apply this 10 trade rule. It will not work for you. I hope you understand. So the only people that this 10 trade rule can work for, only people that have their strategy right. Number one, you must have a good strategy that works and has been back tested. That's number one. To qualify for this 10 trade rule, let me just close this risk to reward. I'll talk about that again. But let me just outline it accordingly. Now, to qualify for this 10 trade rule, which we are talking about the 10 trade rule. First of all, number one, you must have a good strategy that works and has been back tested. You have data that okay, this strategy works. Number two, your strategy must be too meaning your risks. 2 RRO, what I mean by 2 RRO is that you should be risking 1 arrow for what? For 2 reward or above. Meaning 1 risk for 2 reward and above. Now I want to explain this. You must have a good strategy that works and has been back tested. Your strategy must be 1 risk to 2 reward or above. Meaning, if you are risking $100, your strategy should be able to give you what? Reward. Okay, let's say this is risk. You're risking $100. Your strategy should be able to give you a reward of what? Reward $200 and above. That's when this 10 trade rule can work for you. That's when this 10 trade rule, that's when you are qualified to use this 10 trade rule for your trading. I hope you understand. Let me bold this so that you can see it very well. Now, to qualify for the 10 trade rule, you must have a good strategy that works and has been back tested. So now that you know that, okay, to qualify for this 10 trade rule, you must have a good strategy that works and has been back tested. Your strategy must be 1 risk to 2 reward or above. To me, I prefer 3 RRO. That's 1 risk to 3 reward. Okay. So now I want to show you why the 10 trade rule is very good for somebody that has this qualification. Okay, now let me dive into it. Okay, let me just, we already know this already. Let me delete this so that I can be able to, or let me just give space for me to write the rest. I hope you have written all this down. So, okay, now this is the reason why this 10 trade rule is very good for traders with that qualification. Let's say, for instance, now you have, you divide your capital. Because the 10 trade rule now, you need, let's say you have a $1,000 capital and you apply the 10 trade rule. You have to what? Divide by 10. If you divide this by 10, it will give you what? $100. Now, since you're applying the 10 trade rule, you divide your capital, your overall capital, by 10. So now you know that, okay, I have $100 now to play with 10 times, meaning $100 times 10 will give you what? Your capital. Right? Right. Okay, now, since you know this already, you have $100 to place a trade, and you now have 10 times to place a trade. Since you have 10 times to place a trade, let's say, for instance, you have a system that gives you 3 RRO. It gives you 3 RRO. You risk one, you get three in return. Your risk to reward. Okay, now if you are going to lose, let's say for instance, your system it failed you for six trades. You take a loss of six losses. Six losses. Six losses. Six. You took six losses. So now that you took six losses, you don't need to be scared. Why? Because now $100 per trade. Now you have 4 times to take a trade, right? Let's say you take six losses in a row times the amount you already decided $100. Six losses times $100. It will give you what? $600. Now you have $400 left, right? $400 left. Let's say you take 4 wins in this particular trade. 4 wins times. Now, your 4 wins times $100 times risk to reward. This is where risk to reward is not important. And you have a risk to reward of 3 arrow. How much will you be making in this trade? Now, if you use your calculator, you'll see that 4 times 100 times 3 will give you what? 1,200. So you are making 1,200 in this particular trade. So at the end of 10 trade, at the end of 10 trade, you will now understand that okay, now I made 1,200. You minus your loss from it. How much do you lose? I lose 600. If you minus it, you will see that you are in a profit of what? $600. Automatically, you lose 6 trade and you are still in a profit of what? $600. I hope you understand what I mean. You divide your capital into 10 trade. You took 6 loss in your 10 times to shoot your trade. You took 6 loss and you took 4 wins. You already made $600 in profit. Do you understand me? Now, let's break it down again. Let's say your $1,000. Divide by 10, which is the 10 trade rule. It will give you what? $100 per trade. Just know that it's not only $1,000. Just know that any of your capital, you have to divide it by 10 to give you the amount you will be risking per trade. You have 10 times to place a trade. So now, let's break it down now. Let's say you have a risk to reward of 3 arrow, which 3 arrow is a very good risk to reward. You have a risk to reward of 3 arrow, right? Now you know you have a 3 arrow risk to reward. Now, you take 7 losses this time around. You didn't take 6 again. You now took 7 losses. You lose $100 7 times to give you what? $700 in losses. You are losing minus $700. Minus $700, right? Minus $700. Then you now get like 3 wins. Now look, oh, you lose 7 times, but you won only 3 times, which is very bad, but it's still, with the 10 trade rule, you will still be profitable. Now let's see how it works. 7 losses, 3 wins. Now, the 3 wins times your $100, right? Times your risk to reward. You have a 3 risk to reward, so times 3. If you press your calculator, you can now say, okay, 3 times $100 times, that's 3 wins times your $100 times your risk to reward. You are in profit of what? $900. You are in profit of $900, right? So you took 7 losses. This is really ridiculous. So now that you have 3 wins, 7 losses, let's minus our losses. So now we know our losses is much. 7. 7 loss minus 3 win, right? Our win is what? We won $900. We won $900. The losses we made $700. If you press your calculator, you'll see that okay, after the 10 trade, after losing 7 trades and winning only 3, you are still in profit. In profit of what? $200. After the 10 trade, you are making what? $200. After losing what? 7 times. Do you understand me? After losing 7 times, you are still making what? $300. When you were losing 6 times, you were making what? In, at the end of 10 trade, you were making what? $600. Do you understand me? Okay. Now let's take it down again. Let's make it 8 losses. Eight losses. Let's say you took 8 losses and you took only 2 wins, and you were not like, ha, I'm finished. You're not finished. Just watch. You will not blow the capital. Your capital will still be intact. 8 losses times your $100 will give you what? $800, right? Good. $800. Now you only have 2 wins. So what? 2 wins times 100. 2 wins times 100 times 3. 2 wins times 100 times 3. Give you what? $600. Now, you don't need to be scared. You don't need to be what? Scared. Because now your win is what? $600. And your losses is what? $800. At the end of 10 trade, hmm, you are losing only $200. You have what? $800 out of your $1,000. You have $800 to play with. Do you understand? So applying the 10 trade rule is going to help you to be able to cut your losses, right? And if you are losing 8 trades in a row, it's not okay. There's something wrong with you. You need to check your strategy. You need to check what you are doing wrong. It might be your fault. It might be your psychology. It might be your risk management. It might be something going on in your trade. It might be you over leveraging. So if you are losing 8 times, then you need to work on your strategy. But if you are losing 7 times, you can still be profitable at the end of what? 10 trades. Still be profitable at the end of 10 trades. Do you understand me? So this is a quick one. I'll stop here for now. You can just subscribe. Maybe I will drop another tip again. Psychological tip that might help you in your trading. So just like and click on the subscribe button so you don't miss the next video I will drop. See you all at the top.